if there's just something you know you need to do, you've been called to do, but you're paralyzed and you're so afraid you're going to make the wrong choice, the wrong decision, and you're going to fall flat on your face, or you're going to lose it all, or people are going to say, I told you so. That's no reason to miss out on the life. You know God put you on this planet to live. Playing it safe, it's really not possible. You can make yourself miserable and deny yourself of your gifts. Why not just go for it? Why not just go ahead and mess up, get that part out of the way with, and don't take it personally. Welcome to The Introverted Influencer, a podcast for the woman who's over getting advice from 20-year-old business coaches on Bali sabbaticals and seven-figure entrepreneurs who only share their wins. I'm your host, Erica Van Slyke, blogger turned soulpreneur, mom of two, and a mentor for women done with the hustle. Here, sacred strategy meets feminine flow, and we expose what it really takes to build a business grounded in purpose, not trends. A brand that moves with your rhythm, not the algorithm, because you didn't leave your 9-to-5 grind just to build a shinier cage with your name on it. Well, hello, my love. Welcome to another episode of the Introverted Influencer podcast. So today's lesson message is, it kind of derived from a really, really silly obsession over marble countertops, but I'm going to take my inspiration where I can get it. This is, these messages just come from like real life. And so even though it may be a little cringe of how I was able to make such a existential type of education out of countertops, like whatever. So I really think it can help someone. So it's fine if I look like a crazy person. So let me just go into the message. I'm a little sleep deprived, so just bear with me if I'm slower than usual. I've been in my house now. It's so crazy. My lake cottage, lived here for, it'll be 4 years in a few months coming up. And I have really taken my time. Like the kitchen was one of the spaces that really all they did was like paint the original. My house is from the 70s. All they did was like paint the original cabinetry, but they didn't change out like the countertops. And it was one of those projects I've really taken my time on, not only because, shit went down in my business not long after moving in here, but also I had it in my mind that kitchen called for marble countertops, despite what everybody was saying, the fear mongering against it of like, no, that is such a mistake. You want to go with quartz. Go with quartz or quartzite. Those are two different things, by the way. Quartzite is actual natural stone and it's expensive as hell. It's actually more expensive than the marble I got. And then quartz is like man-made. I'm like, hell no. I'm feeling like Euro vibes, Euro old school vibes for this kitchen. It's got to be marble. But I started to doubt myself and I was in fear of like, what if I spend this money on these countertops and I fuck them up? And like, it's a nightmare to take care of. My OCD gets the best of me and I made this expensive mistake. So I just lived with a kitchen that I didn't love, even though, this is the unique thing about blogging, being like a home decor blogger, DIY blogger, is that when you invest in your home, it's not just kind of like this egoic thing of like, I want marble countertops. It's content for my site. And it's when I share my kitchen, that's my portfolio as well. So it's a little different. And I thought, hey, I'm a little scared with how blogging has changed, but I'm on an upswing and I'm going to go ahead and invest in like finishing my kitchen. Not only like, no matter what happens, if I have to sell this place eventually, I think it's a great investment for resale. And then on just a professional level, I can share this. This is content. This is my portfolio. I need to do it right. And so a month ago, I decided, hell, I've got the confidence today. I'm going to go get a marble slab and like did the thing. Anyhow, it all got installed last week. And from the time that I had like bought my slab to the time it was installed was like a little over a month. But it's crazy. All the messages, all of the fear mongering that I had to experience within that month. So the people even at the stone place were like, we do not recommend marble, yada, yada, yada. Are you sure you want marble? They tried to talk me out of it. And I'm like, nope, nope, nope. And then it's so crazy because I came across these stories of like on even just Pinterest of how, certain homeowners regretted marble because of the etching. So I was starting to really doubt myself. I was almost driving myself into a stupid panic attack over my decision, but it was like, okay, I've already bought this slab. Like what's done is done. I can't go back. And I had like taken a moment of like, I had dreamed of these marble countertops. I'd had this vision. It should have been a happy, full circle kind of manifestation coming through, celebratory moment. And instead it was like, I was so nervous. I was not even excited. And we get the marble countertops in last week. And I'm like, oh my God, they are fucking beautiful. I think I definitely made the right decision from like aesthetics. But how is this really going to go? Well, we broke them in really nicely last week. It started with my husband who we'd gotten a little tipsy on red wine on a Friday night, and he accidentally broke a glass full of red wine onto the marble countertops. So glass shatters. Marble is a soft material, so not only can it etch and stain, but it's softer so it can chip. And I'm like, oh, clean it up. It was fun, guys. But then the next day, I wasn't paying attention when I was doing the dishes, and I dinged a really heavy casserole dish into the marble, and it chipped the edge of the marble. And guess what? I felt a sense of relief. It was like, okay, that moment that I had feared of messing up this marble, of what everybody had told, why everybody had told me not to get this material, it's chipped and I'm okay with it. Like I'm glad my fear kind of finally came to pass because I realized it wasn't that bad. Quick pause, you beautiful soul. So if you've been vibing with this episode and you are building a brand, a blog, or even a brick and mortar business, I would love to support you in your journey. I am so freaking excited to announce that I am now offering one-on-one consulting for creatives and entrepreneurs who want to grow with their feminine flow, their soul essence, and are over the hustle, over the burnout, and done spinning their wheels on strategy that doesn't even fucking convert. To learn more about my offerings and to book something with me, head on over to introvertedinfluence.com. And now let's get back into it. So what does this have to do with like business and personal development? Why I decided to share this, I thought it was relevant because it's all happened like within a week, is that I was listening to the Niche Pursuits podcast with this guy. I think I can't remember his name, but he was, Nils Z is his name. And he has a course on how to make a shit ton of money on affiliate commission. I think he brings in $2 million a year from a blog that he pays for Google ads for this blog. He doesn't rely on SEO anymore because he got hit by the helpful content update, lost 95% of his traffic. So he had to learn how to pivot. And at that time he was making, when he was just relying on organic SEO, he was making like $100,000 a month from his blog. But he didn't freak out after the algorithm update. He pivoted and he decided to invest in Google ads to get his traffic to his affiliate website. And he is killing it. But at the end of this podcast episode, he said, I guess, the final question was like, okay, so what are your biggest recommendations to the listeners right now? And he said, go ahead, start, get dirty, fuck it up, fall flat on your face so you can get the inevitable over with. It's nothing to take personally. It's going to happen. It's the nature of our human existence. And he brought up such a good point that I've brought up in other episodes too, of like, yeah, you may have naysayers saying, don't go for it. It's too risky. What are you thinking? Why would you quit your safe job? Have you seen the economy? Have you seen what AI is doing? All of the doubts, all of the fears. But you know what? You can play it safe. You can get a 9-to-5. You can stay stuck in your 9-to-5 and you could still get laid off. You could still fall flat on your face. This security is an illusion if you're relying on security from external sources. It's just, you can't win, but it's okay. It's not a bad thing. Because I want to tell you, if you've been following along, you know my story. I'm almost sick of saying it. I got hit really bad too. And it's been a roller coaster the past 2 to 3 years in my business of getting hit with these algorithm updates and constantly having to pivot. But what I can say, I'm in an upswing in my blog. I announced it a few episodes back. There's a recent Google algorithm update, and I got a good chunk of my traffic back. But there had always been this fear before that happened of, well, I guess it wasn't a fear. It was more like shadow and doubt of, did I just get lucky? Was this all just a fluke? And I can tell you from falling flat on my face, from facing my biggest fears and having to get myself back up, I can look at it now that my nervous system is regulated and I feel in a safer place of just like, God, it sucked to have to fall flat on my face. It was scary. I wouldn't have wished that on anybody to a certain extent, but now I see how it was such an initiation. And I'm having these bigger opportunities come into my orbit, these higher stakes opportunities. And I'm watching myself now, after going through like a constant, like one slap to the face after the other for 3 years. And I'm watching myself now of like, oh my God, who is this girl? She's like fearless. Like she can take on higher profile opportunities, more complex clients with like ease and grace. Whereas before, I wouldn't have even considered this opportunity because my nervous system wasn't ready. I didn't have the confidence because if all you do is succeed, if it's always just flow, you do kind of start to question like, do I really have what it takes or did I just get lucky? And so really my message today is if there's just something you need to do, you've been called to do, but you're paralyzed because you're so afraid of fucking it up. And you're so afraid you're going to make the wrong choice, the wrong decision. And you're going to fall flat on your face, or you're going to lose it all, or people are going to say, I told you so. That's no reason to miss out on the life. You know God put you on this planet to live. And playing it safe, that's just, it's really not possible. You can make yourself miserable and deny yourself of your gifts and then still, there's still always the possibility of getting laid off. So why not just go for it? Why not just go ahead and mess up, get that part out of the way with, and don't take it personally. That was another thing they kind of covered in the niche pursuits is like speaking to the community of bloggers right now and everything we've gone through with AI and how crazy everything has shifted. Like we had this plan, we had this strategy. What the hell? The plan was supposed to work. But for so many of us, that plan, it fell to the wayside. And that was like a false sense of security as well. But some people give up and many bloggers have, but then there are many of us that just know now to diversify. And that's that's what you should do anyhow, because I feel like, and especially when I listen to these entrepreneurs that have so many things going on at once, it's like, you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket and it's not as stressful. Like it kind of sounds stressful to have your attention span in many different directions, but actually what I've realized is that it's a lot more calming to have that diversification because you don't put any one thing on a pedestal. So I don't know if I'm so far out of it all to say I'm grateful for going through this, but I'm kind of starting to feel that way, guys. So go ahead, do the thing. Don't take failure personally. It's an initiation, okay? And good things will come through. Obviously, you'll grow a lot wiser, but hopefully if you don't stay in victimhood, you'll also be able to pull yourself out of the fog and see why it had to happen. So with that, I'm sending you so much love. Do the damn thing. You only get one life, sister. Okay? And if you fuck up, good. Get that part out of the way with so you can do what you got to do. And I will talk to you again soon. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We could keep on spreading the word about this podcast. And 2 ways you can help me out is by leaving me a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this episode on, or you can actually take a screenshot of this episode and tag me over on Instagram at Designing Vibes. And of course, I would love you to DM me whatever resonates, and I am sending you so much love.